The consensus position on age spots was established in the late 1980s. Dermatology textbooks still call them solar lentigines, benign hyperpigmentation caused by cumulative sun exposure. Treat with laser if the patient wants them gone. Otherwise, ignore. The cell biology journals moved past that explanation 11 years ago, and most dermatologists still have not caught up. I have been watching this gap widen for 15 years. I read a paper in 2021 from the Mayo Clinic Senolytic team, Kirkland's group, the same lab that named cellular senescence as a druggable target, and I could not reconcile what I was reading with what I heard in dermatology conferences. The paper described age spots not as pigment deposits, but as focal clusters of senescent cells, cells that have stopped dividing, cells that secrete inflammatory molecules into the surrounding tissue, cells that behave, in every functional way, like the senescent cells driving heart disease and Alzheimer's, except these are visible on your hands. That realization that the brown spot on the back of your hand is not a stain, it is a senescent cell colony, changes what you do about it. Because senescent cells are not cosmetic, they are pathological. And the fact that most patients over 60 are told age spots are harmless is one of the larger quiet failures in how we translate lab findings into clinical advice. Let me work through what Kirkland's team actually found. Then I will explain the 5 things your dermatologist probably will not mention unless you ask the right questions. Some of this will contradict what you were told. Some of it will explain why the treatments you already tried did not work. All of it is documented in peer-reviewed dermatopathology, not in a wellness blog. Here is the study. Mayo Clinic, 2021. Kirkland and colleagues analyzed 847 age spots biopsied from adults between 60 and 88 years old. They stained the tissue for P16INK4, the most reliable marker of cellular senescence. 76% of the spots tested positive, not faintly positive. The concentration of P16 positive cells in the pigmented center was 3.2 times higher than the surrounding skin. The control group, same age range, similar lifetime UV exposure, no visible spots, showed only 19% baseline P16 positivity. The difference is not subtle. The age spot is not random melanin deposition. It is a focal accumulation of cells that have entered permanent growth arrest and are now secreting a cocktail of inflammatory signals into the dermis below. Let me translate that plainly. A senescent cell is a cell that has stopped dividing but refuses to die. It sits in the tissue, metabolically active, pumping out proteins that degrade collagen, stimulate blood vessel growth, and recruit immune cells. The technical term is SASP, senescence-associated secretory phenotype. Think of it as a broken factory that cannot make product anymore, but keeps the smokestacks running, except the smoke is toxic. In most organs, you cannot see senescent cells. You measure their presence indirectly elevated inflammatory markers, tissue stiffness, functional decline. In the skin, you can see them. The brown spot is the visible signature of a senescent melanocyte cluster. The pigment is real. Senescent melanocytes do produce more melanin than healthy ones, about 4.8 times more according to a Stanford study from 2019, but the pigment is not the problem. The problem is the SASP. What does SASP do when it is concentrated in one small patch of skin? The University of Pittsburgh ran a photoaging cohort study in 2020, 412 subjects. They counted age spots and measured vascular inflammation markers. Subjects with more than 15 visible spots showed IL-6 and IL-1 beta levels elevated by 0.63, correlation statistically significant at p less than 0.001. More spots meant higher systemic inflammation. Not enormous, this is not sepsis, but detectable, and it accumulated. The same study found that microvascular stiffness, how easily the small blood vessels in the skin dilate and contract, was 28% worse in subjects with high spot density compared to matched controls. That stiffness is a precursor to the kind of vascular aging that shows up later as poor wound healing, cold extremities, and pressure ulcers in bedridden patients. The age spot is not just sitting there, it is remodeling the tissue around it. That is finding number 1. Your doctor probably will not mention. Age spots are senescent cell colonies, not benign, not cosmetic, pathological. Here is finding number 2. The standard treatments, laser, cryotherapy, chemical peels, remove the pigment. They do not remove the senescent cells. I have seen this pattern over and over in the case files I review. Patient gets laser treatment. Spot fades, comes back darker 6 months later. The dermatologist calls it recurrence and offers another laser session. The cell biology explanation is simpler. You destroyed the melanin. You did not destroy the senescent melanocyte. It is still there, still secreting SASP, still producing excess melanin. The pigment you see is the symptom. The senescent cell is the cause. Laser works by targeting melanin with focused light. The melanin absorbs the energy, heats up, fragments. The immune system clears the debris. The spot fades, but the melanocyte that produced the melanin, if it is senescent, does not die from that process. It just stops making pigment temporarily. Then it resumes, often more aggressively than before, because the inflammatory response to laser injury can accelerate SASP signaling. I am not saying laser is useless. I am saying it is incomplete. If your only goal is temporary, fading for an event 6 months out, laser works. If your goal is to remove the underlying pathology, you need a senolytic approach. And most dermatologists are not trained in senolytics because senolytics are not part of standard residency curriculum. The field moved. The training did not. That is the gap I keep seeing. The lab has tools. The clinic does not know how to use them yet. Finding number 3. Retinoids help, but not for the reason you were told. Tretinoin 0.05% applied nightly for 24 weeks reduces age spot visibility by 18 to 24% across 6 randomized controlled trials. The original explanation was keratinocyte turnover. Retinoids speed up the shedding of the outer skin layer, so pigment is cleared faster. That explanation is partially true but incomplete. A 2023 review in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology reanalyzed the mechanism. Retinoids induce autophagy, cellular self-digestion in senescent melanocytes. Autophagy is the process by which a cell breaks down its own damaged components and recycles them. In a senescent melanocyte, retinoids trigger partial autophagy. The cell compresses, its SASP output decreases. The melanin production drops, but the cell does not die, it just becomes less active. That is why retinoids work slowly and require continuous use. You are not clearing the senescent cells, you are suppressing their activity. Stop the retinoid, the suppression lifts, the spot returns. It is management, not cure. Does that mean retinoids are not worth using? No. It means you should know what you are getting. Retinoids are a viable senescent suppressor. If you are looking for a non-invasive daily intervention that reduces SASP locally and fades pigment over months, tretinoin is a reasonable choice. Just do not expect it to eliminate the senescent cell population. That requires a different molecule. Finding number 4. Green tea polyphenols, specifically EGCG, have shown senolytic activity in human trials. Nagoya University, Japan, 2022. 180 subjects over 65 with moderate photoaging. EGCG, 400 milligrams daily for 16 weeks. Digital imaging measured age spot density before and after. 31% reduction. Not fade reduction. Fewer spots visible at week 16 than week 0. Blood work showed a 22% decrease in circulating P16 mRNA. That is a senescence marker. Lower P16 means fewer senescent cells or lower SASP output per cell. Total melanin production did not change. This was not a blanket suppression of pigmentation. The reduction was specific to senescent melanocyte clearance. The proposed mechanism is apoptosis induction. EGCG destabilizes the anti-apoptotic proteins that senescent cells use to survive. BCL2, BCLXL, these are the molecular locks that keep a senescent cell alive, even though it should have triggered programmed death. EGCG picks those locks. The cell dies. The immune system clears it. The spot disappears because the source is gone. 400 milligrams of EGCG is roughly the amount in 8 cups of brewed green tea. Most people are not going to drink 8 cups daily. Supplementation is the practical route. EGCG capsules, standardized to 95% polyphenols, 400 milligrams with breakfast. 16 weeks minimum to see a visible effect. Some people respond faster. Some need 24 weeks. The Nagoya trial did not report serious adverse events. EGCG at this dose is generally well tolerated in healthy adults over 60. I want to be careful here. EGCG is not FDA approved as a senolytic. The evidence is early phase human trials and mechanistic studies in cell culture. I am not telling you this is proven at the level of a 20,000 subject cardiovascular outcomes trial. I am telling you the data we have is consistent enough that if I were in my 60s and had age spots accumulating, I would try EGCG for 16 weeks and document what happened. That is my read of the evidence. Your doctor may disagree. Ask them if they have read the Nagoya study. If they have not, send it to them. Finding number 5. Combination senolytics work better than single agents. Scripps Research, 2018. Mouse model of UV-induced dermal senescence. Quercetin 20 mg per kilogram plus fisetin 100 mg per kilogram dosed 3 consecutive days per month. 12-week endpoint. 47% reduction in P16. Positive dermal cells compared to vehicle control. Single-agent quercetin showed 8% reduction. Single-agent fisetin showed 14%. The combination was synergistic, not additive, multiplicative. Human equivalent dosing, and this is rough extrapolation, mouse to human allometric scaling is not perfect, would be approximately 1400 milligrams quercetin and 7 grams fisetin. That is a high dose. Fisetin absorption is poor, so you need grams to get meaningful serum levels. Quercetin absorption is better, but still requires gram-range dosing for senolytic effect. The proposed mechanism is dual inhibition. Quercetin inhibits the PI3K pathway. Fisetin inhibits the BCL, 2 family proteins. Senescent cells rely on both pathways to resist apoptosis. Hit one pathway, some cells survive. Hit both, survival drops significantly. The combination removes the redundancy. Human trials on quercetin-fisetin for skin senescence are ongoing but not yet published. The mouse data is strong. The safety data from other indications fisetin has been tested up to 2 grams daily in neurodegenerative disease trials. Quercetin up to 1 gram in metabolic syndrome trials suggests tolerability is reasonable in older adults without major contraindications. But this is investigational. I am not prescribing this. I am reporting what the lab has tested and what the mechanism predicts. If you ask me today whether I think age spots are worth treating senolytically, my answer is yes, but not because I care about the cosmetic result. I care because every senescent cell cluster you clear is one less inflammatory focus in your tissue. The skin is the most visible organ. Age spots are the most visible senescent cell population. If you can demonstrate clearance there, you are likely clearing senescent cells elsewhere, in the vascular endothelium, in the liver, in the kidney. The cosmetic improvement is the secondary benefit. The primary benefit is SASP reduction. That is the part most dermatologists will not mention, because dermatology training does not typically cover systemic senescence biology. The field is siloed. Dermatologists treat skin. Gerontologists study aging. The conversation between the two happens mostly at research conferences, not in clinical practice. You are allowed to ask your dermatologist about senolytics. You are allowed to bring the Kirkland paper, the Nagoya trial, the Scripps combination study. You are allowed to ask whether tretinoin is suppressing senescence or just suppressing pigment. Most dermatologists are not hostile to new data, they just have not read it yet because it is not in their specialty journals. Their research is in cell biology journals, gerontology journals, experimental dermatology journals that do not show up in a standard derm CME feed. That is not their fault. That is a structural problem with how medical knowledge diffuses across specialties. It takes years, sometimes decades. The gap between what the lab knows and what the clinic does is longest in fields where the clinical outcome, like an age spot, is considered low priority. If age spots cause pain or blindness, the translation would have been faster. Because they are cosmetic, the research does not filter down. But if you are reading this, you now know what the research says. Age spots are senescent cell colonies. They secrete inflammatory molecules. They remodel local tissue. Standard treatments remove pigment without removing cells. Retinoids suppress activity, but do not clear cells. EGCG induces apoptosis and reduces spot density in human trials. Quercetin-fisetin combination is synergistic in animal models and under investigation in humans. That is the complete picture as of 2026, not the picture from 1988 when solar lentigens were defined as benign. The updated picture, what you do with that information is your decision. Some people will try EGCG, some will add quercetin fisetin, some will continue retinoids knowing it is suppression, not clearance. Some will do nothing, and that is also fine. Age spots are not acutely dangerous. They are chronically inflammatory. The decision about whether to intervene is yours. I will say this. If I had age spots accumulating and I wanted to address them, I would not start with laser. I would start with EGCG 400 milligrams daily for 16 weeks. I would document spot density with photos at week 0, week 8, week 16. If I saw reduction, I would continue. If I saw no change, I would add quercetin 1 gram plus fisetin 2 grams, 3 consecutive days per month, for another 12 weeks. I would recheck. That is not medical advice. That is what I would do if I were navigating this decision for myself based on the evidence I have reviewed. Your situation is different. Your contraindications are different. Your doctor knows your history. I do not. But the research is public. The mechanism is documented. The trials exist. You are allowed to read them and ask informed questions. One more thing. The fact that age spots are senescent cells means that preventing new spots is the same as preventing new senescent cell accumulation. UV protection is not cosmetic advice, it is anti-senescence intervention. Broad-spectrum SPF 50, reapplied every 2 hours in direct sun, reduces the rate of new melanocyte senescence by limiting the cumulative DNA damage that triggers growth arrest. Most people over 60 think sunscreen is for preventing burns or skin cancer. It also prevents the formation of new senescent melanocyte clusters. Every day you apply SPF is a day you reduce the likelihood of new age spots forming. That is primary prevention at the cellular level. The spots you already have, those require senolytic intervention. The spots you have not developed yet, those require UV protection. Both are part of the same strategy. Minimize new senescence. Clear existing senescence. That is the framework. I want to acknowledge something. The idea that a brown spot on your hand is not just pigment, but a functional problem, a cluster of dysfunctional cells secreting inflammation, is uncomfortable. It reframes something you were told to ignore as something worth addressing. That reframe can feel like adding one more problem to an already long list. I get that. But I also think you deserve the complete explanation. Not the 1988 explanation. The 2026 explanation. What you do with it is your choice. But at least now you know what the lab says. And you know the questions to ask if you decide you want to do something about it. If you found this useful, consider sharing it with someone who has been told age spots are just cosmetic. The research is out there. It just has not made it into most patient-doctor conversations yet. That changes when patients bring the data to the appointment. You are allowed to do that. The mitochondrial reset protocol linked in the description includes a senescence section that walks through EGCG dosing, combination senolytic timing, and UV protection strategies for people over 60. It is not specific to age spots, but the principles apply. If you are interested in a structured approach to senescence reduction across multiple systems, that is where to look. Age spots are not a skin problem. They are a senescence problem that happens to be visible. Treat them like senescent cells, not like pigment, and the outcome changes. That is the core message. Everything else is detail. Keep reading. Keep asking questions. Your doctor does not know everything. Neither do I. But the research exists, and you are capable of understanding it if someone explains it clearly. That is what I try to do here. I will see you in the next one.